But Amara Raja Batteries is the other stock on our radar. The stock has been buzzing. It's hit record highs on the back of the technology licensing pact with Slovakia's GIB Energy for lithium-ion cells. To discuss more on this, we have Vikramadithya Gourineni, who is the executive director at Amara Raja Batteries. Vikramadithya, thank you for joining in and taking the time out to speak to CNBC-TV18. I just wanted to understand a little more about this licensing pact with GIB. What does it bring to the table for Amara Raja Batteries, and what do you see as the way forward now in this space?
So thank you for having me. I'm happy to answer this question. The licensing pact that we have with GIB, it's a pretty comprehensive relationship. It starts with licensing, cell technology, IP on the product itself, helping us to lay out our factory, equipment design, complete, industrialization of the product, plugging into their global supply chain ecosystem, and then a little bit of help also on, customer side engagement, engineering support. So it's kind of a pretty end-to-end. It helps us to get these products into the market and, support a lot with getting the early day customers.
So you're saying this will help you tap into their global supply chain ecosystem. You recently invested 20 million euros for an additional 9.3% stake in InnoBat. Do you plan to put some more money to work there? And what would this mean in terms of business potential, with your collaboration with InnoBat?
We don't have any further plans to invest at this time. I think the getting into InnoBat right now was to kind of help enable us to be part of that ecosystem. What we like about GIB, the Goshen and InnoBat coming together, Goshen is a pretty progressive company. They know that I think they identified pretty early that they cannot be limited to China, so they've been investing all over the world, having a pretty global outlook. But also, they have from mining to the cell making, battery, upstream, downstream, entire battery value chain. They've invested not only in China, but now they're doing localization all over the world. And we're part of that localization platform, and we're helping to bring this technology into India. So we'll continue to have a pretty close association with Goshen InnoBat through the European entity, but probably further investment at this time is not something I have in my plan. Most of our investment is going to be strictly limited to India.
Vikramadithya, hi, morning. Prashant here. I had two questions. One is, this is, is it a broad kind of license, or is it, it says it grants the license to manufacture LFP battery technology cells with cylindrical and prismatic form factors. I mean, is it it's technical. I'm just saying that, is it, does the agreement allow for for you to collaborate on any future sort of technological changes, etc.? Because it's a fast evolving space. Or this is a very specific thing for a specific process to make these batteries.
So it leaves the door open for a lot of future collaboration, but for now we've sat across the table, identified specifically which cells we need for our local conditions. And of course, Goshen being a leader in LFP technology, we are working on LFP chemistry with them. But right now we have a very specific phasing of products we want to bring into the market. And as and when further upgradation is happening through the period of this agreement, any upgradation on those products will be freely available to us. And thereafter, I think as new chemistries, new breakthroughs come in, we always have a chance to sit across the table and talk about that as well.
Just to press on that point, very simply for our viewers, can you tell us, is this the dominant technology which is likely to continue as the primary route for these cells? The agreement, that's a specific agreement that you have in here for. And the other thing is, it says Goshen, which is the Chinese company, battery manufacturer, which is about a 2% share in EV battery market, is backed by Volkswagen. And could you sort of elaborate on that as well? So, and of course, it's got lots of other customers: Geely, Chery, Leap Motors, Winfast, etc. So, do you get access to these sort of these customers, and if yes, in what way? Because Goshen would already be sort of supplying to these companies, right?
That's correct. So your first question, LFP is what we believe will be the predominant chemistry in India. Of course, we have areas where we're attempting to cater with other chemistries like NMC for very specific applications like two-wheeler, where size and form factor have a little bit of, they lack, it's a small form factor, you need a little bit more energy density. But overall, we do believe that especially the Indian automotive market in EV is going to be largely dominated by LFP technology. So I think it's very apt which products, which chemistry we've tied up with Gotion. On the second thing, of course, Gotion has VW as its largest shareholder, but that doesn't necessarily mean that their customers abroad will automatically become our customers here in India. We have to convince them that a localization plan is the best route forward. But we are planning to collaborate for specific customers, and we've already begun to do that. There are some customers that Gotion already supplies in India. I think we're not attempting to, go and knock them out of that. We have, we'll discuss on a case-to-case basis, but I think more we're excited that bringing a good technology, proven technology, we'll be able to give quite a compelling offer to our OEM customers. And many of them have already started to reach out with a good deal of curiosity and optimism.
So can you share your plans about the lithium-ion cell manufacturing? When do you start operations? How much do you plan to manufacture in phase one?
So phase one, it's actually independent of this technology license.
Yeah.
That's with NIMC Chemistry. We've already begun the factory planning, and we should start construction probably in the next 2 to 3 months. That production of 2 gigawatt-hour would be up and running probably at sometime early in 2027. And this production, I guess, and again, we'll start the technology transfer immediately with Gotion. And probably over the next 3 to 4 months, we'll finalize all factory designs, master planning, and then get down to construction on that as well. Optimistically speaking, once you start construction, it's 2 years to get a factory up and running. But that's more looking at established ecosystems like China. Maybe 2 to 2.5 years is what we're aiming for, having a strong partner that can help us accelerate these efforts.
Okay, so you're saying realistically it'll take you 2 to 2.5 years to put that lithium-ion cell manufacturing capacity completely on board, right, to execute it?
That's correct.
Okay, got that. Your international business growth has suddenly shot up. I mean, in Q4, you saw 30% growth. It was also driven by expansion in a lot of the new markets, whether it's Africa, North America, etc. But I want to understand from you, going forward, what kind of realistic growth do you see in the international business, and what will the contribution look like between international and domestic for you?
I think I'll refrain from commenting too deeply on this. It's looked after by a different team, headed by another executive director, Harsha, on our team. But the international business, we do believe that it'll continue to have quite a good runway for growth for us. And in the past, we have commented that the type of margin profile we see in international is as good as the Indian aftermarket, if not a little bit better for select markets. But we've definitely taken international as a strategic imperative. When we talk about this Amara 3.0, part of it is catered by investing in new technologies like we've done with the recent announcement, but also in globalization. We believe that the type of products, the type of technology we already have in our portfolio has the ability to globalize and has global competitiveness. And you find that in the international business outside of India, we're number one in Singapore, we're number one in Malaysia. That list is only growing. So Southeast Asia, this entire Indian Ocean rim, we're quite a dominant player, but we've also started to export batteries into North America, into the United States, into Europe, into South America. And the number of countries and the presence we have in those countries will grow considerably.
Okay. Just coming back to this technology pact with GIB, since, you are, your focus area is now developing new technology, getting into some of these newer spaces. Any other companies, any other geographies where you're looking to sign technology pacts, any other focus area for you over the next 12 to 18 months?
I think for the immediate future, we have, now that we have the cell in the cell technology partnerships in hand, the bulk of our capex is always planned to be spent on cell making. So nothing specific in terms of that. But eventually, we have to start looking at, backwards integrating, looking at how to at least have some level of strategic interest in our supply chain. That's where it's one of the major reasons that we're drawn to Gotion, because Gotion has developed their, end-to-end battery value chain and all of its in-house. So they not only have that in China today, but now they're expanding that localization of raw material all over the world. So GIB specifically, just this past 1 to 2 weeks, they've announced a localization in Slovakia, of course. They've announced in Morocco. They've announced in Nigeria, and they're expanding that even further. So some of those are for cell making, but many of those are also for battery value chain, so battery materials. And we hope that we can be plugged into, multiple supply chains, but eventually also start building some level of ecosystem for the Indian market.
Okay, and would you be looking to expand your capacity in battery pack and charger manufacturing further? Because that space as well has seen a big growth of 30% in Q4. So are there any capacity expansions planned over there?
So there are. The first, large commercial pack facility, ultimately it'll have a capacity of 5 gigawatt hour. This is part of our Telangana project. Since we announced it about a year ago, the factory is already up. The line is being commissioned, debugged. We have an entire workforce of local youth that we've hired and we're training. That production should be starting in the next month or so, and then we'll keep expanding that capacity until we reach 5 gigawatt hour as announced. On the charger, we're in the process of getting into mass production of a localized charger. This is an off-board charger for two-wheeler, three-wheeler, and a light mobility application. And over a period of time, we're going to add a lot more to that portfolio, like DC fast chargers, swapping stations, other parts of the vehicle as well. So all of that is currently undergoing the mass production process.
Thank you very much for joining in and wish you all the very best. By the way, now back in the green, the Nifty's recovered.